Hello, my name is Jaiye Bynoe. You want a Jayman Show, which is on WBCA 102.9 FM, Boston's local community radio station. I'm your host, Jaiye Bynoe, and my guest today is Mattie. Good to
Hi,
see you.
good to see you. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing wonderful. Super to have on the show today. I remember how we met at Don Summer's event,
Yeah,
and
thank you for having me.
oh, absolutely, definitely. Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you and your family got started in the music business and what it's like, I guess, to be the aunt of a great Donna Summer, who was a wonderful performer and dancer.
Well, she's my aunt, so I'm her niece. Um, I guess everything started back when my aunts were younger. They would sing around Boston and sing in the church, Grant AME. Grew up in Boston as well. Don't live there anymore, but I grew up there. So I just, as a young kid, seeing, my aunts sing and everything, that's pretty much my introduction into music.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, I
Yeah.
see. Okay.
So I went to school. When I went to school, I studied music. I went to Norfolk State University, HBCU.
All
Shout
right.
out, shout out to the Spartans. Behold the green and gold. Um, so it was more of being surrounded by music my whole life. My siblings are musical. My cousins are musical. We just come from a big musical family. So that's pretty much how we got inducted into. In my family, you only do a couple of things. You play instruments, you sing, you act. So everyone kind of got the bug.
Oh, I see, because I definitely understand, because in my family, I have an Uncle Philip, Bynoe, who's a great musician, plays Steve Vai, so I'm also a musician myself, singing
Oh,
anthem.
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so
Yeah, my brother Omega Red.
mhm.
He puts on the event in Boston, the disco summer event every year in my aunt's legacy. So yeah, we pretty much have been in there doing just being creative people.
I definitely understand. That's wonderful to hear. I guess my question is, what inspired you to get into music? Do you also sing?
I do sing. I do sing. And, again, just when you grow up with, Donna Summer and your family, it's kind of hard not to
Yeah.
sing. Even I had a vocal coach that told me this when I was in college. Everyone can sing. It's just a matter of how it comes out, right?
Yeah.
So, um, everyone when we're all together, it's just like a big choir. It's really cool growing up in a musical family. That's how I got started. First love was always music. Just being around the house listening to what my mom and my dad was playing. My dad was really into soul music, so he played a lot of soul music. We listened to Sam Cooke, we listened to Aretha Franklin, and my dad would always say, if you're going to do it, you better do it with soul. So, and my mom actually doesn't really sing, but she could carry a note. But um, so she would play. She was a huge Jimi Hendrix fan. She was a huge Ohio Players fan. So she used to play. We used to hear this music in the house growing up. And of course, listening to my aunt sing. They start you early. You start learning early in my family to sing, and the younger generation is now coming up, and they're all singing too. So it's a great thing.
I can definitely imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
We
s-
all do. We all are very creative people. We all have like, creative things that we do. Um, I did sing for a bit, was on the road, had a record deal, did all of that. But I recently got into the coffee world. And so I own a coffee business. I'm a coffee roaster now. So that's kind of like, I kind of sing, do coffee, So yeah.
I see. Oh, okay. Okay. So do you want to sing right now?
You could have put me on the spot, Jay.
No, it's up to you. I just want to sing for all your fans out there. I want to hear
Oh,
you.
I don't know if I have any fans, by the way. But oh gosh, what would I sing? I mean, you just put me on the spot, Jay. Come
Oh,
back to me towards the end. I'll sing something.
okay. Okay. So how did you guys? So how did you and Don Summer get your first record deal? I mean, was it?
Well, for my aunt, I'm not quite sure how it all worked out. I mean, I've heard the stories over the years, but for me, when I was working on a project in Boston, and a friend of mine knew someone that worked for BMI, and they introduced me to someone else. And then eventually my manager that I met, he was working for Warner Brothers at the time, introduced me to a group of guys that had a label on Warner Brothers. And that's how I got my record deal.
Oh, that's a blessing.
Yeah. This was back in, 2000s, early 2000s, when everyone was starting their own record label and everybody was getting distribution through, record labels instead of being signed to like big major labels. There were all these small labels popping up, so it was kind of easier back then to, work with somebody who had a deal with a major label. So yeah. So that's kind of how I ended up. And then I ended up doing an EP, going on a promotional tour, did a show in Jamaica. That was my first big show in Jamaica. So it was pretty good run, a pretty good run. Along with music comes the business, and you got to be able to do the business as well as do the music. So at that time, I didn't have a real strong team around me that, really could handle all of the business. So I started to kind of lose interest in doing music because it was just becoming too much for me. There's some people that are just diehard, music's my life. I have so many other talents that I knew music will always be a part of my life. It's something that I will always do first. But, I do have other talents that I can share, and I want to do that as well.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah.
So are you working on any projects right now, like any more albums, films, or anything else coming out?
No one that's coming out right now. I haven't done any music in a while. Everybody keeps trying to bring me back. Occasionally, my husband's in the music business as well. My husband's a famous DJ. So he has a lot of friends, and sometimes I'll, hit the stage with some of his friends and perform with them. Rob Bass and, folks like that. So yeah, like sometimes it's fun. It's still fun to perform. Like, you still get that sick feeling in your stomach right before you walk out on stage. You still get the butterflies. But occasionally I do it. Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear. So what advice can you give artists and musicians that want to be a singer? What advice can you give us that want to be it?
I would tell you, study your craft and learn the business. The business is really the side that you really need to know first. And a lot of artists, young artists, they come in and they don't really know a whole lot and sign bad contracts and things of that nature. But first, know what you want to do with your music. Like, start off asking yourself, what do I want to share with the world? What is the message that you want to share with the world? So I would say, really get yourself surrounded by some good people that really know what they're doing too, because you're only as strong as your team. So I would say start off with trying to get a manager. If you have a body of work already together, the industry has changed so much that you can pretty much do everything yourself these days. You don't really need a label. So I would just say, learn the business, know what's going on right now, and you're gonna have to have something real special you know, you want to be different from everything that's out right now, because that's what's going to make you stand out.
Yeah, that's very good advice. Very true. I definitely agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. So I have to ask, what it's like to be the aunt of Donna Summer, the wonderful Twisted Queen? Because she made some wonderful songs like "Turn the Beat Around." I mean, I saw she was wonderful in Family Matters. I was like, wow, this is. I wish I could have met her.
Well,
So
she's I'm her niece.
okay.
Uh, so it was just, you know, growing up, it was regular to me. She was a regular person, you know. It's the world saw her as a star, but we saw her as Auntie Donna. So, you know, it wasn't like a big deal, you know. I mean, I guess it is a big deal, but to us, it wasn't a big deal. You know, she was an ordinary person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, she really was. She was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she sounds like a wonderful person. Definitely.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Okay. So, where do you see yourself? Maybe years from now, still, maybe. I mean,
Singing and roasting coffee. That's what I see myself doing. I have a coffee company. It's called Safe Marie's Coffee and Tea. And what we do is so special. So I see myself really pushing that forward.
Mm-hmm.
Opening up a few spots. We're thinking about Boston. We're looking at Boston.
Okay.
Giving some local artists a chance to, you know, showcase their talents on open mic nights and things like that. We're going to be opening up some coffee boutiques. We're calling them boutiques. They're going to be a lot different than your traditional coffee house. It will be a place of where you can, you know, showcase talent, have an excellent cup of coffee or tea, and just have an experience.
Okay, well, I'll definitely be there. I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you in Boston right now?
No, I actually live in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh.
Yeah. Boston will always be home.
Mm-hmm.
I love Boston. You know, it's just the weather.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
You mean both,
Yeah.
Because I don't like.
I don't miss the weather. The weather is not something that I miss.
Because I don't. Cause trust me, I hate the cold and the snow. So I'm trying. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to move to Florida, California. Because I can't do it.
Yeah, I do miss, the one thing I do miss the most about Boston is the food.
Yes.
You don't get better food.
Yeah.
Anywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Boston.
So what's it like in North Carolina? Is it warm all year round? Any snow down there?
We sometimes get snow. It's occasionally, but it's warm right now. We're getting ready to go into fall. We have the same, you know, seasons, but it just stays warmer longer here than it does up north. Like we might have warm weather until about December.
Okay, that's wonderful because I'm thinking about maybe coming down there, because like I said, I mean, I can't do the cold, so
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
It's tough.
yeah, because I was actually living in Florida, but then my mother passed of a heart attack, so I had to come out.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Because we moved down to Florida, and she was doing fine. Then she had a heart attack and passed away, and then I had to come back here because I had my friend family in Florida, so that's why I said,
right.
Because that's why I said Florida is my home. I don't want to stand in cold weather, so
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, so, yes. Okay, so I guess my next question is what do you think that people can do to change the world, to make the world better?
I think people could be kinder.
Yes.
Kindness, I think, goes a long way. I think when you put kindness first, everything else will fall into line later.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's a wonderful answer, because
start with kindness.
Yeah, because I think people should be respectful more, especially now more age, to each other,
Yeah, we have a lot going on in the world right now, and people are very unkind and don't have a lot of grace.
Yes. I definitely
So
agree.
I think kindness and grace are the two things I think we
Hmm.
should start with.
Yes, this world is definitely crazy, it's not what I expected it to be, definitely.
Yeah.
So how did COVID-19 affect you? COVID-19.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me. Allergies.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
COVID, I've had a lot of friends, that's gotten sick from COVID. Had a few friends that passed away. It hasn't been good, this hasn't been a good experience for anyone. We've had a lot of loss, people have had a lot of loss in their lives, and people just, people are tired of being in the house and don't want to wear masks. And then there's, everybody's fighting with each other over what's going to work. You got to protect yourself
Yes.
because your immune system is not the same as the next person.
Mhm.
So why not, if you don't want to get vaccinated, why not wear a mask?
Mhm.
Just to protect the people around you. You may not agree with what's, being said in the media, or you may not agree with our current leaders, but mask up, protect yourself, and then protect everybody else. It's just, it's been, not a great experience,
Yeah.
but I believe we'll pull through it if everybody starts to just, start trying to do the right thing.
Yes, I definitely hope so. I feel the same way, I definitely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So when are you planning to be back? So when are you planning to be back in Boston for the?
I pop in and out. I
Okay.
don't have any plans now because due to the numbers rising with COVID, I was actually going to be back there in August, but changed my plans because of the numbers getting higher. Just going to stay put for a little while, just kind of watch what's going on, and then probably, by Christmas or something like that, depending on how it looks.
Okay. Well, if you come this summer, I'd love to have you come over my house for dinner, my family. We'd love
Of
to.
course, that would be wonderful. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate that.
You're always welcome in my home. Okay, anytime. You're always welcome. So I was busting here.
Oh, thank you so much. I will sing for you
Okay.
because your invitation made me think of a song that we learned as children.
Okay.
And my cousins and I used to sing this song whenever we would get together, because we sometimes didn't have a chance to all of us be together at one time. But when we did get together, this is a song that we would sing. It's called Welcome to the Family.
Okay.
I'll just sing a little bit, okay? Welcome to the family. We are glad that you have come to share your life with us as we grow in love. And may we always be to you what God would have us be, a family always there to be strong and to lean on. Just a little bit.
Oh, thank you. That was beautiful. That's my heart. You're such a wonderful singer. I hope you pursue singing even more.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. That made me smile and touch my heart. I had to hear that. It's definitely wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what would I like to do for fun when you're not working? What would you like to do for fun? Or travel?
Travel. Go to the beach. We're a beach family. We like to be near the water.
Yeah, me too.
So when we have downtime, it's usually at the beach.
Okay. You got me. Okay, you got me. You said it. I want to go to, where it's warm all year round. The beach, it's my home,
Oh, good. Yeah. I think all's right with your soul when you got toes in the sand and the salt water's running over it,
Yeah, because salt
The
water.
best feeling ever.
Yes, the salt water is good for the body.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I wish I could live in Florida all year round in California, even Hawaii.
That's the second time you've talked about Florida now.
I know. I guess because I've been going since I was a kid. Right? Well, this word just kind of part of me, and so that's why I moved down there. So
Yeah.
I don't say about it, But yeah, but and yeah, but I mean, yeah. So my next question is what inspires you? What gives you inspiration? Hope.
I've always been a hopeful person.
Mm-hmm.
I always had this thing. I used to tell my mom this all the time, like, I never live in fear.
Okay.
So I always feel like there's always a new experience every day that you can get into or find yourself fall into. I was a reader growing up. I read books like that. Like, you give me a book and I'm done with it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like an escape for me to read books. So I read about a lot of different places and wanted to travel when I got older to see some of these places that I read about. So I was always very hopeful. Like, I just feel like every day you wake up just happy to be alive, So that if you wake up and you could put one foot in front of another and really get out there and make a difference with anything that you do, like just touch somebody's heart or just say hi to somebody, that's hope to me. That's hope that, today might be bad,
Mm-hmm.
but tomorrow you have a chance to make it better.
Yeah.
So I just wake up every day with just a must of hope. You can make a lot of things happen.
Yeah, that's because hope can be a good thing to have, So I definitely.
Yeah, definitely. You always have to have hope. You have to find what inspires you.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's just meditating first thing in the morning to try to push yourself through the day, or just grabbing your favorite cup of tea or coffee and starting your day with that, or water, or whatever it is that motivates you. Just use that to motivate you.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's good. That's good to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what made you want to start a coffee shop?
The coffee question. Excuse me. My mom
Mm-hmm.
is a coffee enthusiast, and I used to watch her roast coffee beans in the oven when I was a kid. And I used to say, Mom, what's the big deal? Like, why don't you just go and buy a cup from Dunkin' Donuts? And she would say, it's not the same. You don't understand. My mother worked for 45 years at Brigham and Women's Hospital.
Wow.
She worked in labor and delivery, so she's pretty much seen every kid in Boston born over the last 45 years.
I see.
So she had to stand on her feet every day and in operating rooms for hours at a time. So she would drink like 2-3 cups of coffee a day just to stay going. When you're in that fast environment, in the hospital environment, you really have to be alert and pay attention to what you're doing. So when I started traveling, when I got older, I would bring coffee back from all over the world for my mom. And I bought some coffee back one time from Jamaica. And she said to me when I sent it to her and she opened the pack, she was like, thank you so much. My favorite coffee. She loves Blue Mountain coffee from Jamaica. And she said to me, wouldn't it be nice if roast coffee for a living, travel the world, buy beans and roast coffee for a living? And I said, let's do it.
Yeah.
And she was like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And she said, if you start a coffee company, I will move to North Carolina and help you run it. And I said, oh, really? Because I was trying to get her to move down there. And she said, yeah, I'll move down. And I said, okay. I started a coffee company so she would move here, but she didn't come. But that's how I got started.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, your mom sounds like an amazing woman, just like my mother.
She is. She's an amazing woman. She's the doctor in the family. Everybody calls her Dr. Sheila. So if something goes down, she's the first person we call.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, that's right. I think I met him at the.
You did, yeah.
Wonderful. I took a picture. She was wonderful. I loved her. You know,
Yeah.
She reminds so much of my mother. My mother worked for like 42 years. You know, LA clinic. You know, as a med tech. So and that's
yeah.
Well, she was.
Yeah, that's not an easy job. That's not an easy job.
It wasn't for her. My mom, maybe that's what killed her because she was so tired. You know, so I don't know, but you know,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
And it makes you think. You know, that's why.
It does. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's why I went to college and I switched degree in liberal arts, you know, so RCC when you college, I graduated in May, you know, so I could have someone fall back. You know, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you, because I realized I had to go to college, get my degree, you know, and maybe get my bachelor, so I can live, you know, buy a house and live a good life, you know. So
yeah, go for it. Go for it. Don't stop. Shoot for the stars. Just aim for the stars, and you'll grab them.
Yeah, definitely. You know, someday maybe find college in Florida, California. You know.
Yeah.
And also work on music on the side. You know, and like I said, if you come out of Boston, I'd love to audition. You know, well, showcase my talent for you in live in person. And
oh, cool! I would love to see that. Yes.
I think it'd be a blessing. And so this is wonderful again to talk to you. Before you go, how can my fans and viewers find you on social media?
Oh, they can find me on social media. If you want to follow us, we're Sage Marie's Coffee. And then our website is sageMariesCoffee.com. You can look for us there. Our handle is the same on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Sage Marie Coffee.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. How can we find you? How can we reach out to you? Are you on Facebook or Instagram?
I am. You can find me on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. My name is Mattie Finch. You can look for me there. And I'm on Instagram. It's MattieMatt01 on Instagram.
Okay, that's wonderful to hear. So this is so wonderful to meet you and meet you again, and I look forward to get to see you maybe in December if you're here, and like I said, you always welcome on my show and you welcome my home, and I hope to see you have you over for dinner,
Oh, great. Thank you again. I so appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely. And we'll stay in touch, I'll stay in touch, I'll be in touch, and I'll send it every time just after edit, okay? So, and yeah.
Okay, great. It was great talking to you, Jay.
God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.
God bless you.
Careful. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.